Alright everybody, how are we doing today? Time for more domestic coverage. From Reuters, it says, U.S. State Department says it is working with Mexico on tools to fight the drug cartel threat. The U.S. State Department on Wednesday said it was working with Mexico's government to identify the appropriate tools to help it tackle the threats that drug cartels pose. After President Donald Trump last week said he wanted to designate them as terrorist groups. Trump's announcement alarmed Mexico, which rejected it as interventionism and said it would respond in kind to such a move. Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador said, for instance, that Mexico would not permit another operation like the U.S. government's ill-fated Fast and Furious gun-running sting. Designating groups as foreign terrorist organizations aimed at disrupting their finances through the imposition of U.S. sanctions, including asset freezes and travel bans on them and individuals and entities that support them. Speaking at a briefing with reporters, Hugo Rodriguez, Deputy Assistant Secretary of State for Central America, did not offer specifics on the next steps, but said the U.S. agencies had been looking at this issue for months. Well, this is one issue where I think Trump's normal foreign policy tactic might actually do some good. Get over my stammering, which I occasionally do. Yeah. But what we are looking to do is put at the service of the government of Mexico any and all tools we have at our disposal to cooperate on the shared security challenge that the drug trafficking organizations pose, he said. We have to work with them, Mexico, to find the tools that are going to be appropriate in the context, he said. If we have tools at our disposal, we can use that help contribute to addressing the DTO challenge we're looking at it. While this would not directly give the United States authority for military operations in Mexico, many Mexicans are nervous their northern neighbor could use it as a pretext for a unilateral intervention. López Obrador, who has attempted to chart a less confrontational security policy during his first year in office, reiterated he would not permit any armed foreign intervention a century after the country was last invaded, arguing that his government was already doing its part to do battle criminal gangs. Well, I've seen much of López Obrador's policies and the criticisms of, and I'm not impressed yet. It's still better than the governmental corruption we've seen in Mexico in the past, but much like Trump's foreign policy, it's only a small step in the right direction from where it was. Trump has repeatedly offered military assistance in the fight against drug gangs, which López Obrador has always declined even after the gangland massacre of a U.S.-Mexican farmer earlier this month. U.S. Attorney General William Barr will visit Mexico on Thursday to discuss cooperation and security. Mexican Foreign Minister Marcelo Ebrard announced on Wednesday Barr will meet with López Obrador as well as Mexico's own Attorney General, plus the security and foreign ministers, according to the announcement. Honestly, I think this is one instance where maximum pressure would work on these foreign drug gangs. And yes, this is technically maximum pressure because it still implies sanctions and tariffs, which is generally what his maximum pressure campaign is, pressuring people into behaving themselves, which, by the way, in most instances do not work. But this is the one instance where it might, because these criminal gangs are very dependent on their support and ability to travel. That's how they make their money, through drug mules and black market investments and the like. If you cut them off from that supply, then they become completely dysfunctional, although that may provoke them into becoming more violent. But it would certainly do quite a bit to curb their overall impact on North America as a continent. You'd see a lot less drug trafficking, although not necessarily as much human trafficking. You'd still probably see quite a bit of that. Still, going forward with the article, U.S. Attorney General William Barr will visit Mexico on Thursday to discuss cooperation on security, Mexican Foreign Minister Marcelo Ebrard announced on Wednesday. Barr will meet with López Obrador as well as Mexico's own Attorney General, plus the security and foreign ministers, according to the announcement. The Mexican president has previously said his government will seek to strengthen cooperation with the United States to control the flow of arms and dollars. The U.S. State Department includes dozens of organizations on its list of terrorist groups in Latin America, left-wing guerrillas, and right-wing paramilitaries. Both involved in drug trafficking have in the past appeared on the list. And you know what? I actually kind of support the idea to put Antifa on that list. I know, it's not one organization. But if you put the ideology itself on the list, then no matter how many Antifa organizations there are, they'll all be cut off. And they should be. They are rabid far left zealots, and we cannot afford to have a nation full of citizens who go around beating the hell out of each other. A house divided cannot stand. Period. So I support that decision. This is one of the things we can do to curb groups. We can declare them terrorists. Of course, we need a justifiable reason. And definitely, if you engage in violence for the purpose of furthering your political goals, you are a terrorist. Period. You can call yourself a freedom fighter or anti-fascist all you want. It doesn't change what you are. We're not idiots. We know. Are the drug cartels terrorists? Maybe in a very loose sense, but this would still be a brilliant move on the part of Trump. This would certainly be one of the better decisions he's made in his time dealing with foreign policy. Anyway, peace.